I have narcolepsy, and getting shit done when sleepy is just the most impossible thing. If that does not resonate, if you hear that and you're like, oh, I don't really think that's a problem, then this video probably isn't for you. But if sleepiness fucking hamstrings you, where you get sleepy and it feels impossible to do shit, and getting sleepy feels like a regular occurrence, whether it's because of bad sleep hygiene or just like you're tired all the time for an inexplicable reason, which indicates probably a health thing, and you should get that checked out. If sleepiness is a problem with your productivity, this is definitely for you. This is shit that I've learned through doing a lot of research on sleep health because of having narcolepsy, as well as lived experience being historically a procrastinator and having chronic sleep issues, obviously, as well. So lived experience. This video will help you with that. And I'm gonna go over kind of 3 main things that I think will be helpful to you in figuring out how to still get shit done when you're sleepy. And the first of those things is you need to be decisive. And the first of those things is you need to be decisive. And the first of those things is decisiveness, which means you need to have enough of an awareness of the triggers, the sensory experiences, the somatic experiences that point towards, I'm getting fucking sleepy, I'm getting tired, I'm going to need to pass out. You need to have a general awareness of what the warning signs of that are, whether it's like, I'm truly going to conk out here, or whether it's more generally, if I let this continue, I'm going to end up in a nap for 4 hours. You need to be aware of those things so that you can be decisive, so that you can have a set of decisions that you don't have to think about, that you don't have to make. You don't have to process and go, which of these options am I going to choose? Because you have pre-chosen them if that stimulation moment comes in. So you can kind of think of this like an if-then statement. If this happens, then I do this. If I feel that sleepiness coming in, whatever the signifier is to you, whatever the indicators in your body of, yeah, I'm fucking, that's the thing. For me, it's kind of a heaviness behind the eyes, it's tiredness behind the eyes, I guess. That'll be the first indicator. Knowing, okay, when that comes in, there's a thing that I do. And that's what we're going to get into in the next couple steps on what you can do in relation to that protocol. But that's why this is the first thing, is you need to know when it's happening, and you have to have a set of things that you don't have to think about, you don't have to process, because otherwise you're going to equivocate. If you know exactly what you're going to do when that sleepiness kicks in, you're not going to have to make a decision. Then you're not going to be going back and forth, do I do this or do I do this? Do I take a nap? Do I not? No, here are the conditions. Here's how the decision is made. So I don't have to make the decision because I've already decided if there are particular criteria, this is what I'm going to do. If there's a different set of criteria, this is what I'm going to do. So it might be the sleepiness kicks in. Are there any extreme deadlines? Are there any hard deadlines like tomorrow? No? Okay. Then I am allowed to have a nap and I'll get some stuff done after the nap, perhaps. If it's, I know that every day I'm going to be sleepy like this, then I might need to organize things differently, and I might need to say, okay, this is one of the days, is say 2 days before the deadline, where I just have to push through, which means I'm going to need to enact my protocol to keep me awake, rather than deciding, do I not have a nap? Do I have a nap? If I don't have a nap, then I'm going to be too tired later, and it might be hard for me to work. But if I do have a nap, I might take up all the time, and then I might not be able to get anything done anyway. And if you get caught in that equivocation loop, then you're done. It's gonna fuck you, and it's gonna take up a lot more time than you would have lost by having the nap in the first place, and it'll feel worse. So know what the signifiers are, and then have at least a couple of options. Nap, not nap, option. Know what are the decision-making criteria, and this is something that you can experiment with over time. It does not have to be an instantaneous decision. Thing 2, this is part 2, beyond the decisiveness piece. The second part is you need to have a somatic interrupt. You need to know, what am I going to do to disrupt myself out of the decline into sleepiness that I'm experiencing? I chose my spot poorly, and this is fucking digging into my back, so you can see me wriggling around. I apologize. Poor position choice. I'm not going to change it now. So, somatic interrupt. No, I need to have a thing or set of things that I do that re-energize me, that kind of wake me up, get me clear, get me starting to go again. Some examples might be cold water, hypey music, some kind of exercise, moving around, going for a little walk, knowing, okay, when this situation happens when the sleepiness comes and these criteria are met, like deadlines in a day or two or whatever, I need to enact my somatic regime, whatever, so that I can disrupt the sleepiness and still get some shit done. It could be I start by chucking my head under the cold water. It could be start by putting my headphones on my head, walking out the door, going for a wander, playing happy music while I put my headphones on. And maybe when I'm on the walk, I take some notes on my phone about what I need to do next. So I have clarity when I walk back in the door on what needs to happen, so I'm not equivocating, getting uncertain, avoiding because I don't know what to do next as well. So somatic, something somatic. It can be physical. Do some star jumps. Slam your fingers in a door. If you do that, it's of your own volition. This is not advice. Do something somatic to interrupt the sleepiness state, to energize you, to bring your dopamine, endorphins, cortisol up, to disrupt the sleepy state. That's part 2. And converse to that, you can also think about not doing things that will facilitate sleepiness. Avoiding eating too much. Avoiding getting too warm. Avoiding too much comfort. Basically, don't get too comfortable. Cold, preferable, but yeah, don't get too comfortable. That will wipe you out as well. So somatic, things that energize you, avoiding things that will lower you into a sleepier state. Thing 3 is kind of the least interesting, maybe the least definitive, and the most important. I keep bumping the camera, I apologize. The most important, you need to lower your expectations. You need to lower your expectations. I'm putting this last, more because I want it to be front of mind when you have a go at this or when you think about having a go at this. You must lower your expectations. First, don't need to make any decisions. Be decisive. Don't have any decisions to make. Have a clear, this is what I do if this is the context, this is what I do if this is the context. Then, and I mean, you can have a couple more than just 2 if you don't want a binary. That's nuanced. Experiment. Figure out what works for you. Same with the somatic one, step 2. Figure out what physical things get you going. Particularly, keep it interesting and positive. Keep it positive. That's the main thing. Make it feel like things that you want to do that feel good to you, because that will be much more incentivizing. When you're sleepy, you really want to sleep. So it's much more compelling if it's like the somatic interrupt that I want to use is something that I find exciting. But number 3 is you must lower your expectations. You will not get as much done as if you are not sleepy. You will not get as much done as if you are energized. You just won't. So don't have high expectations of yourself. Moderate your expectations of yourself. Bring them down. My recommendation is halve them and halve them again. Whatever you think you need to get done today, halve that and halve that again. If it's like chaos stress moment, you just have to get the shit done, you're going to get it done. You're going to be stressed enough that you're going to get it done. You don't need to worry, really. It'll feel shit, but you don't need to worry because you will get it done because you're stressed out of your mind and you have to get it done. If you don't have to get it done, halve it and halve it again. If yes, a deadline's coming up, halve it and halve it again. Because more likely than not, in most scenarios, you're going to end up doing nothing instead. If you halve it and halve it again, the scale is so much smaller that, hey, you might build up momentum and end up doing more. You can do that if you want. But at the very least, because your expectations of yourself are lower, less pressure, less overwhelm, less stress, because there's less that you're trying to push yourself through, and more focus. Because, hey, there's a more specific thing, a tighter scope that I'm orienting myself around, that I'm directing myself towards. Lower your expectations, because that is how you deal with the mental. Ultimately, like the mental part is chiefly through the expectations you have for yourself. If your expectations are too great, then you're going to overwhelm yourself. If you're getting overwhelmed, your expectations are too great. Even if you think that you can't lower your expectations because of the stress of the deadline, you can. If it's like it's due today, well, you don't have a choice. You're going to get it done. Don't halve it and halve it again. You really can't. But if it's like, oh, can I get away with it? Can I not? I don't think I can get away with it. If you're in that equivocation, you can get away with it. Halve it and halve it again. You can always think about pushing yourself beyond that I'm not saying you can't do more, but have the expectation of this is the maximum amount that I can reasonably expect myself to do. I should not expect myself to be able to do more. I should not push myself to do more because I shouldn't expect myself to be able to do more. If I do that amount, then I will have learned, okay, my expectations in halving and halving again were lower than my actual capacity. I underestimated. I can go a bit further. But if you're having expectations that are higher than your capacity, that additional stress and overwhelm is going to shut you down completely. There's no harm in expecting less of yourself because you can always end up going further. But expect less, only expect that amount. Don't think about, but can I push more? Think that's the absolute maximum that I can expect. I cannot reinforce that enough. That's the absolute maximum I can expect, halve and halve again. And then we'll see. Maybe I'll end up getting more done. Hopefully, because that would relieve a bit of stress. But I can only expect myself to get this much done. You can't expect yourself to, I don't know, build a house in a day, right? So you're not going to set that expectation, and trying to set that expectation is going to leave you stressed all the whole fucking day. So chill out, calm down, expect less. Expect a reasonable amount. You're going to go, hey, maybe I could do this much, and you're probably going to still push yourself in that. So that's why we say halve again. And then if you manage that, you can go further. There's no harm in lowering your expectations. It will only make you feel better. It will only help you handle the mental better. So know what the signs are that you're getting sleepy or that you're going to get much sleepier soon, and plan for it. Plan for it. This is the decision I'll make. If these are the conditions, if there's enough stress, if the deadline's near enough, whatever, then I'll use my somatic thing. Otherwise, I'm allowed to have a nap. So you don't need to make a decision. If this box is ticked, I do that. If this box is ticked, I do that. Then somatic, find shit that helps wake you up, that helps get you alert again. Physical things, musical things, temperature things, good bets. If you have other ideas, I'd love to hear them in the comments. But those are safe starts that you can experiment with, see what you like. And third, lower your expectations. Just lower them. Halve and halve again. Great rule. Play with them how you want, experiment as well. But lower your expectations or you will overwhelm yourself. That's how I manage the narcolepsy sleepiness, along with medication help sometimes too. I try not to depend on it too much, and that's something you can look into if you potentially have a sleep condition too. But if sleepiness is a problem with you getting shit done, this is a really impactful place to start, and I depend on this stuff more than I do on medication. So it works, it is helpful. You need to find a positive way of dealing with this. You need to find a positive relationship with the way that you deal with it, so it's not like, wow, I really want to avoid that when the situation comes in. But if you follow this sort of general framework, I'm confident that it's going to be helpful to you. So you can still get shit done when you're sleepy. Take it from a narcolept and a procrastination coach. Hope this helps. Have a good whatever it is for you right now. Evening for me, something for you. That's it. I'd love you to follow along if you want more help with this kind of thing, and I'll see you next time.